Well, it's not every day that we get to speak with a published author, but we're doing that just today. We've got Roger Marcus joining us from the great state of Texas to tell us about his new book. Thanks for coming by the show today.
Well, it's my pleasure. I have been excited about helping families all of my life. I pastored for many years and retired, and this book came into my heart in 1990 as a dream. And I realized that men's families were being affected by their actions. And I thought there's got to be a way to simplify getting back together and creating what God intended for man and wife to have, husband and wife. So that was the beginning in 1990.
Okay, so you started writing your book in 1990. Here we are, all of these years later, it's finally being published. What's that feel like for you?
It's kind of like a dream come true or the release of a heavy burden, both.
Okay, a little bit of both. I like the balance of things there. I've got to say that the cover art and the title of your book is fascinating. It's called The Female Dollar, but you're talking about balance in families. What's this book about?
Well, money has a personality assigned to it. Obviously, money is not just cold hard cash, but its usefulness is designed to accomplish a purpose. And a woman is designed to be a complement to a man. God created that. He didn't create woman in a subservient role. It's been listed as that. But he created, well, I say it like this, God created man, and then he said to himself, I think I can do better than that. So he created the woman.
Well, I can't disagree with any of that there, but I think it's interesting that we're using dollars to talk about people. How do those two things come together?
Well, if a man would learn how to respect and honor a woman, he learns the personality of how to treat money, and money will be attracted to him. Not just money as in cash dollar bills, but in wealth. For a family that has a balanced relationship, romance is involved, the fruition of love in children being born, creating honor for the parents. And it's just a win-win situation for them to come together and create what God intended.
Okay, so who is your book written for?
Well, it's designed for the man.
Okay.
But the woman usually brings to man what he needs to know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the culmination of how to teach him to honor and respect her, and it's reciprocal. In the book, of course, obviously there's a little more detail, but if a man will give a woman what she wants, she will give him what he wants. The classic phrase that gets a lot of times questioned is, what can a prostitute do for a husband that a wife can't do? And it's nothing, because he gives up everything for a night of freelance extravagance, indulgence, and a lifetime of regret. Whereas if he gives the same devotion and dedication and concentration to his wife, it creates a great reward.
All right, it's a really interesting theory, and you said that this came to you in a dream.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's a strange dream. It was a dream about an orphanage on top of a mountain that had only wealthy women, wealthy young girls in it. The valley below was a genetic quirk in the dirt, it's a dream, that only produced male children. So obviously, me being a man, a boy, I looked up and say, wow, what if? Not knowing that the girls were also looking down saying, if only. And men think that their lust factor is after two things, women and money. But they don't realize, or they need to realize, that men have to understand women want men just as much as women want men. So the dream ended. And that's all it was. Nothing ever happened. But when something happens, when there's an interaction, when there is a coming together, when there's a blending of personalities, then everything is complete. God designed this by his attitude toward the earth. And he's the great bridegroom, and we're the bride in waiting. And that's the responsibility of a husband. I mean, a husband doesn't marry a wife. A groom marries a bride. And so his job or his responsibility starts in marrying her, and she's his bride and becomes his wife.
So is the book for married men, or is this for men in general? Is this a story, is this a book that is for someone who's who's already in a partnership?
Well, obviously, a young man that learns these traits and characteristics of a future wife, bride, will be at a tremendous advantage. But it's for the wayward husband that has got roving eyes, and he's starting to look at other things besides his faithful wife. His wife is the national treasure that God has given him, the opportunity to develop, like the groom and the bride. The groom, a groomer it's a responsibility. It's a job. It's a chore in some respects. You have to groom. It's a physical effort. So if he learns that in going to be a groom for a bride is not just a night to get legal sex, he's going to understand, wow, the rewards of developing this is worth everything.
So in a lot of ways, it's a discussion about what we value and how we show the people in our lives that we value them.
Exactly, and the same thing with money. Money's not just cold hard cash. Money loves the interaction. In fact, I used to say years ago, the happiest piece of money is the dollar bill. It goes from a G-string to an offering plate.
Oh.
And it's in circulation because
Ain't that a happy dollar?
it's been useful. So if a man will understand how to treat and respect and honor and do wisely with his companion, his wife, then money is not offended by him. He learns to respect money. Money is not cold hard cash. We spend it sometimes extravagantly, using it as if it was just nothing, But give a piece of money to a homeless person and it changes their whole personality because they value that dollar bill. It's a treasure. It can buy them another day of life, a sustenance. And so it's a national treasure to him. Thank you so much. I've given money to homeless people and they look at me with great appreciation. Where one time I was shopping and my daughter called and she said, "I need some money, Dad." And she had pushed the grocery bus to get up to the cash register. And I said, "Well, I'll be right there." So there was a lady in front of me in the customer service line and she was counting out change. So I walked up and I laid a $20 bill on the counter. And you would have thought that she wanted to worship me. She was sitting in one of those motorized cars. "Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, sir." And she offered me the bucket of change and I said, "No, ma'am, that's all right." So I turned to my daughter and I said, "I wish I could make you act that way over a $20 bill."
No, a lot of it is about gratitude and it's about value. Those are the things that you're talking about.
The same thing with your companion.
All
If
right.
you give her love, respect, and honor, then the reciprocal blessing is immeasurable.
It's really interesting concepts that you've plugged into your novel from your dream to be able to arrive at this. What is the best way for people to learn more or to buy a copy?
Well, I'd appreciate that. Obviously, I have several books for sale, and we put it on Amazon, and it became #1 in 3 categories just almost overnight because it's a unique concept.
It is a unique concept and you can check it out for yourself. It is available on all the platforms where you download and buy your books. And you can check out more about Roger Marcus and the Female Dollar on Facebook. Just give a little search on Facebook for the Female Dollar group and you'll be able to join it there. Thank you for coming by to tell us about your book.
It's been my pleasure.
All right, and stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.